All right, and we are back here on the GSMC football podcast. And for the third part of the show, we are going to talk about the Heisman Trophy and the NFL MVP odds. And we'll go over them right now. So I went on I think it's vegasodds.com, and if I could pull it up here. So vegasinsider.com. So this kind of has like all of like the betting websites and like with all the players that have like the best odds to win both awards. So like we'll go through like the Heisman Trophy first. So you got Bo Nix, who's right now has the best odds to win the Heisman at this point. Then you got Jaden Daniels, Michael Penix, Carson Beck, Jalen Milroe of Alabama. Like I said, Carson Beck, Georgia. Well, actually, Michael Penix and Bo Nix are going to be playing each other tomorrow night. Washington and Oregon will be playing each other. And they did already play this year a good game. That was. Looking forward to that. I know, some of my friends want to go and watch that tomorrow. Washington 12-0 on the season. Oregon's 11-1. But yeah, these are the odds right here, like I just said. So I kind of just want to like go through the stats of the players that are up here. So for Bo Nix, I haven't honestly, I'll be honest, I really have not looked at like all of their stats collectively. This is like the first time I'm really looking at them. So Bo Nix on the season is 3,900 yards passing, 37 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions, and he has a QB rating of 189.8. So that is really, I mean, again, like I think I talked about this earlier in the week, but it's just like the game is so much different, from this game compared to the NFL. But yeah, so right now he's leading, and I mean, you look at his stats. I mean, can't really argue with that. Then we look at Michael Penix stats on the season. So he's got 3,899 yards passing, 32 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 162.9 QB rating. And I did go over their stats when I went over the stats leaders yesterday. Now that I remember, but. So right now, and like I just said, those two guys will be going at it on tomorrow. So that'll be fun to watch. So then we look at the other quarterbacks here. I'm just looking at I pulled up the Georgia-Alabama game. So Jalen Milroe, so he's got 2,500 yards passing, 21 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. So yeah, he's probably not really in contention to win it. But again, his odds are up here. I mean, he'd have to really just – it'd be a miracle if he did win it at this point. And then for Carson Beck, I mean, he's kind of in the same boat. 3,400 yards, almost 3,500 yards passing, 3,495, 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the season. And then let's see if I can pull up Jaden Daniels' stats here. For LSU, because I did go over them. Like I said, I did go over it yesterday. So his stats currently, so he has 3,800 yards passing, 40 touchdowns to 4 picks. I'm looking it up on ESPN. So his QB rating is 208.0. Yeah. So I did talk about this yesterday. His QBR is 95.6, which is actually first. So yeah, I mean, based off of what you see here, and the stats I just went over, it's probably going to be between Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels as the for the Heisman. So and I like how it has like all the the odds for all the betting sites here, but yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to, win the Heisman? I mean, it's right now it looks like it's going to be, the two guys at the top, for it. So, Yeah, so that's for college football. Now we're gonna go into the NFL now. So let's pull that up. So now this is for the NFL. So you got Jalen Hurts, who's got the best odds. Then you got Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, and Tua Tagovailoa. I'll be honest. I've had these conversations with my friends, a couple of times recently, and this is like a year where it's like I really don't know who's gonna win MVP. I really have no idea. Jalen Hurts right now has, the best odds at the moment. Now, there's still time for, things to change, but I feel like this could be a year. This could be a year where like a non-QB wins this award, because we talked about Myles Garrett and the kind of season that he has had. Tyreek Hill maybe going for 2,000 yards. I feel like if Tyreek Hill gets 2,000 yards, I feel like he should win MVP. I would not be against that. And going back to what I talked about, in the first part of the show, and again, he had a lot more rushing touchdowns, but Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts, like, passing stats were like the same. And another thing that people say is a lot of those rushing touchdowns are from them doing the tush push at the 1-yard line. So now again, Jalen Hurts has been great this year. The turnovers, that's a little bit of a concern there, but you know what? He's been good. He's on a team right now that's the best team in football at the moment. I think right now, I don't know. For me, it's like one of those years where it's like you really just don't know. You don't know. I think there's a clearer picture for like the Heisman. Again, I'm not a college football expert. I'm not going to sit here and say I am, but it looks like there's more of a clearer picture on who's going to win that as opposed to who's going to win NFL MVP. Because I don't think Mahomes is going to win it unless he goes off. The last 5 games here that we have left, right? 5 games. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now I got to do math. I think it's, 6 games. Dak Prescott's been playing really well lately. I feel like he's only going to trend up when it comes to the MVP. Tua's been solid, and Lamar's been solid as well. But, there's inconsistencies with those two guys. Mahomes and his team and how they've been struggling, offensively with the drops too. Guys are still dropping passes. I don't know. I feel like right now, and, as a Giant fan, I don't like saying it, but I feel like Dak Prescott right now is playing, the best out of the QBs here. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, Jalen Hurts is winning more games, of course. Like, they got a better record, and, they beat Dak, but the Cowboys could have very easily won that game against the Eagles a couple weeks ago. So I don't know. It's one of those years where I just really you really don't know. Like, last year you kind of had a good idea. You're like, Mahomes won it. The year before, the previous 2 years, Rodgers won it. Although 2021, Tom Brady could have won it too, because Brady had a good year in 2021. It's this year it's tough. But right now, Jalen Hurts has the best odds. But I don't know. I feel like I said, if Tyreek Hill, he gets over 2,000 yards, I mean, I think you got to give it to him. But unfortunately, when it comes to the MVP, it's a quarterback award. That's really who wins it. Now, they might have to change it where, it's a different kind of award. But, you don't really see, other position players winning this award. I mean, you saw Adrian Peterson win it, back in 2012, but you don't really see other players win this award that's not a quarterback. You go back to 2014, J.J. Watt had that really good season, but Aaron Rodgers beat him out for MVP that year. And a lot of people said it should have been, did I say T.J. Watt or J.J. Watt? I don't even remember. I meant to say J.J. Watt. I feel like I said T.J. When I go back and watch, when I watch this part, I don't even remember. But whatever. J.J. Watt, 2014, he had that great year. And Rodgers, beat him out in 2014. It's hard when it's, you're going up against a quarterback for MVP. But I feel like this is a year where you just really don't know. But, there's still time left. So, anything's possible. Somebody can go off these last, few weeks and then their odds can improve. But right now, Jalen Hurts has the best odds to win MVP. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it when looking at the Heisman and the NFL MVP odds. Like I said, with the Heisman, there's more of a clearer picture as to who is going to win that award, based off of the betting odds. When it comes to the NFL, it's just I don't really know. Like for me, I might be different for other people. Other people might have a different perspective on it. But at least, like, for me, when it comes to the NFL, it's like, yeah, Jalen Hurts right now has the best odds, but is he really, like, the clear-cut favorite to win MVP? I don't really know. But I just still can't get over, how his numbers are similar to Jordan Love. And you don't see Jordan Love on that list for MVP. You don't. But it's because of all those rushing touchdowns that come off of the tush push. But like I said, there's still time left. A lot of big games this weekend, and we'll get into them, of course, more so tomorrow, with the bowl games, the championship games in conferences, in college football, and then of course, you got the NFC Championship rematch on Sunday between the Eagles and the Niners. That's going to get its own segment. So, yeah, sorry, trying to hold back a sneeze here. That of course that's going to happen at least once on the show. But hey, we were able to get through that. But yeah, like NFC Championship rematch going to get its own segment tomorrow just because of how massive the game is. Really looking forward to that game. That's hopefully going to be the game of the year, which we just saw the game of the year basically, between the Bills and the Eagles last Sunday. Eagles have really had to go through a gauntlet, the last couple of weeks. But you know what? They've won. They came back against the Chiefs. They came back against the Bills. Now, I know the Bills' record is not what it usually is in years past, but still got to respect the Bills as a team with the guys that they have over there. Still got to play the Cowboys one more time. You got the Niners. I know they play in Seattle, which is a tough place to play, but I think they should still win that game. Yeah, they got a lot of they had some tough games on their schedule, but so far they've delivered. It wasn't pretty at times, but a win is a win. That's how you got to look at it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it with this segment here. So with that, we're going to take our final break of the show, and then when we come back, we'll talk about the Eagles' division rival, and that is the Dallas Cowboys. And they will be taking on the Seattle Seahawks tonight in Jerry World. So we will preview that as the final segment of the show. So, one more time, stick around, and we will be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.